Hey you guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you're an oldie but goodie, welcome back. So you guys, so in today's video we'll be discussing something a little bit different, a little bit more feminine, even though my channel is pretty much 100% feminine. But this topic of today is going to be a little bit more deep down and personal, talking about our kitty, our vajayjay, our vaginal region, okay, whatever type of terminology you want to use, our vagina. This is going to be a V-talk discussion on how to maintain and restore the natural and normal pH of your vaginal area, as well as how to prevent any type of vaginal infections such as yeast infections or BV, aka bacterial vaginosis, all of that good stuff, aka not good stuff when it happens. But we're going to be talking about all of that in today's video. But before we get started to this video, if you are new to my channel, go ahead and click that red button down below. Join the TAM KAM fam. You are welcome here, okay? Click that bell button so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. And if you do enjoy this video, go ahead and give this video a nice thumbs up right now. Support us, okay? So if you are new to my channel, my name is TAM KAM. I am a nurse of 5 years, an emergency room nurse. I am not an OBGYN, you know, a doctor, anything like that, but I know a good bit of things about the vagina, okay? First of all, because I have one. I feel like I know enough to talk about the vag region. So first, before we even get started deep down into the nitty gritty about the vajayjay and the pH, let's first start and talk about exactly what is the normal pH and what exactly is a pH, okay? pH is a measurement of how acidic or how alkaline or basic an environment or a substance, aka your vaginal region, can be. So the pH level ranges from 0 to 14. A pH level that is less than 7 is a more acidic environment, and a pH level that is more than 7 is more alkaline and basic. So the normal pH of the vaginal area or the vagina is around 3.5 to 4.5, and that is the normal range for our vagina, okay? So it's kind of like mildly on the acidic end, but not alkaline at all. So the reason why our pH levels for our vagina is very important is because when it is within the normal range, it acts as a barrier for our vagina to prevent any type of unwanted bacteria from growing and causing other unknown type of infections or yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis. So the reason why our pH level is so important for our vagina is because when it is not within normal range and it becomes out of whack, it can definitely cause our vagina to do things that we do not want it to do, as far as having overgrowth of bad bacteria or bacteria in general, which then in turn causes yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis, which is something we don't want, okay? So an acidic vaginal environment is protected and able to create a barrier to prevent any type of unwanted bacteria or yeast from growing and causing anything wild from going on down there. So having a higher acidic pH can cause an excessive amount of bacterial growth and cause yeast infections, bad odors, as well as discharge, and sometimes bacterial vaginosis, which then can actually give you a fishy smell that you do not want, as well as also give you sometimes an abnormal color of discharge, green and yellow, that you also do not want. Right, so let's actually talk about some things that can actually cause your pH to get out of whack. So I actually have a list here of about how many things? Of 4 things that can actually cause your pH to actually become out of whack and increase the risk of you having a yeast infection or BV. So number 1 on the list is antibiotic. Now we all know we use antibiotic when we get sick or anything like that, and antibiotic is used to kill the bad germs and bacteria. But sometimes, unfortunately, antibiotics can actually kill the good bacteria, which we have a lot of good bacteria in our vagina that we just want to actually keep there. And sometimes when you are on certain types of antibiotic, it actually can kill some of the good bacteria that we need to stay down there to keep our pH in balance. So one thing that I definitely recommend before starting any type of antibiotic treatment is to just check with your OBGYN, check with your primary care doctor, just to make sure that those specific antibiotics do not cause any type of yeast infections for you. Because sometimes with antibiotic treatments, sometimes you do need a dual or a double antibiotic treatment in order to prevent. One is to actually fix whatever type of reason why you're on the antibiotic, whether it's a cough, pneumonia, and then you need a second antibiotic to prevent that antibiotic from causing a yeast infection in your kitty. Okay, so always just check with your PCP, your primary care doctor, as well as your OBGYN, just to make sure that you're not too sensitive with certain type of antibiotics that may actually cause a yeast infection. I'm sure we all have been there when we had yeast infections, sis, and I'm about to say sis and bro. Sis, well, bros have it too, but sis, we don't want that again, okay? So number 2 on the list is douching. Now, if you're not familiar with douching is actually a mixture of water, baking soda, or vinegar. And I believe they have companies like Summer's Eve that actually makes douches where you insert it into your vaginal canal and you actually kind of just wash the canal. Now, the reason why douching is not good is because, like I said, you have good bacteria in there, and douching actually just cleanses everything out, the good stuff too, and it makes the area more alkaline, which we do not want. We want our vagina to be more acidic, so it can have a protective barrier to prevent any type of infection. But when you do a lot of douching, it kind of messes that up and make it all out of whack. Now, there are some people that do douche and they have no problems. Power to you, sis. Can't do it. But they highly do not recommend douching because it does increase the risk of vaginal infections and changes your pH a whole lot. So I highly suggest to not do any type of douching. Stick with your typical soap and water or light cleansers when it comes to cleansing the area down there. So number 3 is unprotected sex. Now, I know you guys, y'all be like, you know, oh, it don't feel the same, yada yada yada. But if you do not know, semen is actually very alkaline. So while you're having sex and it's unprotected and that semen gets in you, sis, it is very alkaline, and it actually increases the risk of you having a yeast infection. So to prevent that, you should actually use condoms to prevent the semen from actually getting into your vaginal canal, and also to not get pregnant, sis. But this is V-Talk about pH, so we do not want the semen in there so it doesn't change our pH and in turn increases our risk of getting an infection. So number 4 is harsh soaps. Now, I know some of y'all love to use those good old body washes, you know, the lavender, the mint, the coconut, all of those different kind of scents. Oh, they smell so good on your body, sis, okay? But they do not need to be down there, okay? Leave it alone. One thing about harsh soaps is that they do not match our pH of our vagina at all. Most soaps, harsh soaps, are very alkaline. So therefore, when you're washing yourself down there and you're using that lovely Dove shea butter and Dove lavender and all that stuff like that, you are making your environment very alkaline and increasing your risk of getting an infection down there. So definitely do not use harsh soaps. And if you do want to use a soap, I highly recommend using like a Dove unscented or a Dove original soap, or just using water and a light cleanser. One cleanser that I highly recommend is actually the Honey Pot cleanser. This is the normal foaming cleanser. I actually have the sensitive one because I am very sensitive, so I started off with the sensitive one first inside of my shower. But this is a nice foaming wash, and it actually matches your pH of 3.5 to 4.5, which is great, and it's organic and black owned, okay? So next on the list, we're going to go ahead and talk about how we're going to maintain and restore our pH of our vagina. So one way that you can actually maintain and restore the pH of your vaginal canal, your kitty down there, is to actually take some probiotic supplements such as like Azos, or you can actually increase the intake of your foods that actually have probiotics such as yogurt, misos, but Azos is a good supplement to take if you actually do want to just increase your probiotic intake if you do not want to eat yogurt, such as myself, because I hate yogurt. One thing that I really love about Azos is the fact that they actually have a kit that you actually can test your pH of your vagina, and it comes with like this little stick that you actually lay up against your vagina for a couple minutes or a couple seconds. It'll tell you on the box, and you take it off and it actually tells you what your current pH of your vagina is, so you can actually know what range you're sitting in at the moment. And it's also a good indicator to see if you do have any type of vaginal infection, if you are having any type of symptoms such as fishy odor or odor in general, weird looking discharge, itching, and burning when you urinate. I love Azo just for those benefits of being a probiotic, as well as having a testing strip for you to test your actual pH of your vagina. Your kitty says. So the next thing that you can actually use to maintain and restore the pH of your vagina is actually using estrogen type creams. Now these creams you have to get from your primary care doctor or your OBGYN, and you can just actually just put the cream up there and actually help normalize your pH. The next thing that you can do to maintain the pH of your vagina is actually using condoms during intercourse. So like I said, semen actually increases the pH, causing it to become more basic or alkaline, which in turn increases our risk of getting any type of infections that we do not want. Okay, no one do not want to be itching and burning. Okay, we try to be hot girl summer, hot winter summer, winter girl summer, whatever we want to be, but we ain't trying to be burning down there. Okay, so using condoms during intercourse, I know it feels good and all that without it, but to not make our pH out of whack, using condoms will actually maintain your pH of your vagina. The next thing is to do not douche. Like I spoke already before, douching kind of cleanse all the good bacteria and make your environment very alkaline, which you do not want. So do not douche, and instead use water and light cleanser. And the final and last way how you can maintain and restore the pH of your vagina is to actually see your OBGYN on a regular basis. You know, your annual checkups, do not miss that. Mine is coming up soon now that I think about it. You know, just making sure that your kitty is nice and good down there by the kitty professionals, okay? Your OBGYNs, they are the professional of everything girl wise down there. So going to see your OBGYN on a regular basis, especially if you have any type of issues, is very, very important, because they are the best to educate you and inform you on what you need to do to actually maintain, restore your pH, and to prevent any type of BV or yeast infections that we do not want. So that completely sums up every single thing about how we can maintain, restore our pH of our vagina, everything about the pH, how to normalize it, what is normal, and how to prevent any type of unwanted infections such as yeast infections or BV, bacterial vaginosis, in our kitty vajayjay vagina area. So I hope you actually did enjoy this good old video, and I hope it was very, very informative to you guys. If you had some questions that I actually answered for you guys, and if you do have any other type of questions dealing with the pH, bacterial vaginosis, go ahead and comment down below. Ask away. If you do not want to ask in the comments, you can go ahead and just actually go onto my Instagram, DM me any type of questions that you may have, and I will answer them there. But I'm also thinking about doing a part 2 of this video of the best soaps and washes and wipes to actually use in your vaginal area, okay? To actually keep your kitty nice and fresh and clean without any type of fishy or weird smells that we do not want, okay? So you guys, if you did enjoy this good old video, which I hope you did, go ahead and give this video a nice thumbs up, support your sis. And if you have not already throughout this video and you have been watching my other videos, sis, go ahead and click that red button down below, join the TAM KAM fam, hit that bell button so you can be notified every time when I post a new video, and I hope to see you guys in the next upload. Bye guys.